at GeekSpeak are happy to tell you that Big Red Barrel has teamed up with audible.co.uk to offer you a free audiobook of your choosing. All you have to do is register for 1 month's free trial to claim your free audiobook.
There are over 80,000 books to choose from, like Ready Player One,
or The Complete Sherlock Holmes,
or Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters.
Eh?
What?
Hey, it's the only way I can manage reading Austen.
Okay then.
It's too dry for me.
Anyway, just register at www.audible.co.uk/redbarrel. The 30-day free trial means the book is yours to keep even if you decide to cancel during the trial.
So sign up at www.audible.co.uk/redbarrel.
Enjoy! Hello and welcome to Big Red Barrel Geek Speak, a place for all your nerdy needs on BigRedBarel.com. I am your host Lauren, and I will be your geeky guide for this episode. With me is the Baroness of Books and Board Games, Alex.
Wow, hello!
And the President of Pixels and Point and Click, Monica.
That's such an awesome name. Hello.
Well, since we are a brand new podcast for your listening pleasure, I thought we'd give us a little introduction about ourselves.
Hey Lauren, what's this podcast about?
Oh yes, I forgot about that completely. Why don't you tell us, Alex?
Okay, so for those of you who've been listening to Big Red Barrel for a long time, you know we do a couple of podcasts about video games, we do movies, we do whatever the hell Boom does, and because we didn't really want to repeat that stuff, we decided to talk about everything geeky on our planet. Which will be video games,
this episode is very video game heavy, but in general we should be talking about an array of things like video games, board games, movies, comics, whatever we fancy in the wide, vast universe of geekdom.
Yep.
Yes, there's two. Is there two video game podcasts on Big Red Barrel?
Yep. Well, I don't know, whatever the Boom is.
The Boom is just awesome, okay? We listened to every single episode of Boom.
Is Boom just the random stuff?
Yes.
It used to be a lot about games, but now I think recently it's just been a lot of...
Move on from the Boom. It's not about the Boom.
Sorry. I know there's BRB UK, they are video games, and then there's the Barrelcast.
Yes.
Yeah, they're definitely video games, I know that one. Back to where I was before, I stupidly forgot to tell you what this podcast was about. I'm Lauren. As I have already said, I am a science teacher and I like to blow things up, and that kind of segues into my love of video games and sci-fi. Alex, what about you?
Well, I am mostly a board game person. I mean, I definitely enjoy playing video games, but there are some gaps in my video game knowledge, which I have my other wonderful co-hosts to fill in for me. But board games and sci-fi is mostly the waters I like to swim into.
And what about you, Monica?
Well, I'm a massive gamer. I've been so since I was very, very young, and it has also resulted in me working in games. I'm currently an artist working in video games, so I draw all of the pretty things and shout at people sometimes when they make my
I'd love to hear you shouting, actually. I can't imagine that.
Yeah, I can't see you shouting.
No, I don't actually shout. Well, I'm not shouty.
That's what me and Alex are for.
Seethe quietly and plot my revenge.
So you and your partner both work in video games, don't you?
Yes, we do. We work at different companies, but we both make games.
Yeah, and just full disclosure, we will not be discussing anything that Monica or her partner have been working on or worked on in the past on this podcast, just things we're interested in general.
Yep. So yeah, welcome to the first episode of Big Red Barrel Geek Speak.
Woohoo! And we will start off on a strong note with a remastered and re-released game, which I think a lot of people are very, very excited about because we've been waiting years for it.
Were we?
Well, most people have. I know you haven't, Alex, because when we mentioned this to you the other week, you had such a blank look on your face. It was quite sweet. And of course, we are talking about Grim Fandango.
Woo!
You'll be surprised to know that actually, despite saying, no, I'm not gonna have time to play it, I've actually played a little bit of it.
Yay!
Didn't we get you on the fact that we told you the characters were based on Sugar Skulls and Diaz de la Muerte?
Yeah, I think as soon as you said it, I was like, a light bulb. Okay, bye-bye.
If you don't know what Grim Fandango is, it's a dark comedy neo-noir adventure game from LucasArts back in the day. It's been remastered by the original creator Tim Schafer because he got the rights back a couple of years ago, and we've been redeveloping it for quite a while. That's because they had a lot of problems with the original files being lost or taken away or misplaced. But after a few years and pleading and wishing of the geek masses, we now have a copy for a lot of different consoles. So we have it on the PS4, the PS Vita, iOS, PC, and Linux of all things. Monica, you've been playing it. How are you doing so far?
Got some way through. I think I completed the first year, and I've gone some way through into the second year. And I love the atmosphere. I love just the music, and I'd never played it before. This is one of the LucasArts titles which I actually never did play. I think I've played all the others. Or watched my mum play them back in the day.
Your mum plays video games? That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's how I got into it. She would.
Oh Jesus! I can't even. My mum is scared of actually opening the internet browser.
My mum plays solitaire on her iPad. Does that count?
Well, close enough. Mine was really good. She went through all the RPGs. She went through Myst and Riven, and she had a notebook just filled with scribbles. And because back in the day, we didn't have internet access. We had no way to look up any of the puzzles.
You had to make sure you kept the boxes and all the inside notes. Otherwise, like we spoke about the other week, just offhand, we were talking about, what was it, Sierra games, and you had to keep the book. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a code to show that you bought the game, and then you'd be stuck, and you wouldn't be able to Google it, nothing. You just wouldn't be able to play that game anymore.
Ever again.
Yeah, never again.
So, yeah, I mean, for that aspect, I've been enjoying it. The character models are looking really nice, but I don't know, I'm just quite disappointed in a lot of respects. They've not really done much with it, I feel. Like, with you saying they had a lot of problems along the way, I can imagine the code must have been a nightmare to work with, but it's filled with glitches. The transition screens are absolutely terrible. It will just freeze up and then shove you in halfway through an animation on the next screen. I've had a lot of little niggling problems that come up, like, for example, items in your inventory losing their model. My bread just went invisible, and every single instance of the bread in my inventory went invisible after I'd used it. There was just like a little tiny bit showing on the top, and things just like character models will glitch, will freeze halfway through an animation. The loading in between a screen and the next is just like awful. You go up to the edge of the screen, everything freezes, and you load in halfway through an animation on the next screen. It's like, come on. Like, I paid £12 for this. I was expecting it.
What have you been playing it on?
On my Vita. I don't know if the issues are on the PS4.
Yeah, because I saw the fella playing it on the tube the other day, and he showed me a scene where Manny had been stuck in a talking animation, and he's just walking around with his jaw chattering for about 5 minutes.
Oh, that's...
He's just like...
that's terrifying.
It was actually quite cute. I do have a thing for skulls.
Yeah.
If you're on the Big Red Barrel Twitter, or if you've been to Tabletop Tuesday, I was running around with a chocolate skull on Halloween because I was very, very happy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Best person to win that, by the way.
Love that skull. I didn't finish it though. I named it Dan. And I ate the entire back of his head off. So I could wear it as a mask.
I was going to say, I could wear it as a skin.
Yeah, I just had this chocolate skull head on my face. Sorry.
I've been watching Under the Skin, and if anyone knows what that's about, talking about the skin is really bad right now.
Oh, is that the one with Scarlett Johansson and she's the alien thing?
Yes.
And when she was filming that's where the meme of her falling over came from.
Well, maybe. I don't know about the meme, but there's some creepy skin stuff.
I will have to show you. It's just her like properly falling over and face planting.
Oh yes, I've seen that meme.
It's brilliant.
Okay, no, I know what you're talking about. Anyway, back to Grim Fandango.
Yes, sorry. So you about halfway through year 2, did you say?
I don't know how far through, because I've managed to keep away from the walkthrough mostly, except for 1 or 2 instances where I just sat there going, What do you want of me? What do I do?
Yeah. If you go on the pause screen, there's like a bar thing, like I think it's a like painting or a sculpture which fills up as you go through the game.
Yeah.
And after year 1, it's like a quarter of its gold, and then after year 2, half of its gold. So you can kind of gauge how far you are through the game by saving.
Oh yes.
To be honest. Yeah. Sorry, Alex, what were you saying?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say again, because I'm not familiar with that type of games before, and when I went in, we were playing it, and about 10 minutes in, we were like, F it, we have no idea what this game wants from us. We're opening the playthrough, and because how am I supposed to know? I need to steal 2 deflated balloons from that guy and fill them with some goo and then stick that goo somewhere else. I don't know.
LucasArts. That's
yeah,
why.
you learn
it's
if you play.
LucasArts.
Yeah, if you play point and clicks, you learn. You click on everything, and then when you're stuck, you go up to every single thing, and you rub every single other thing on it because then progress is born.
Well, yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
So like with how I got the balloons is I just went up to the clown and I went through every single bit of dialogue and I was like, oh, he gives me an item. He must be able to give me more than one. Just click over and over. I think I spent 10 minutes in Domino's office going, oh, I can drink his whiskey. I can still drink his whiskey.
I wonder
if I can just keep drinking his whiskey. It's like 10 minutes later. It's like, I'm bored now. Let's go carry on with the story.
Like with all point and clicks of its time, they are incredibly frustrating and you have to try everything a million times for it to work. But the nice thing about the remastering is, I think you mentioned it earlier, is the soundtrack.
Yeah.
They found the original tapes for the soundtrack. Like I said earlier, they had a lot of trouble trying to find all of the original coding because no one looked after it back then. Everyone just left it places. Some people took it home by accident. They had to find people who worked with them and left the company about 10 years ago to see if they happened to have a section of code so they could carry on developing the game. But they found the original soundtrack. Tim Schafer listened to it and thought, it's not quite what I want it to be. And they re-recorded the entire thing with an orchestra. I think it was Sydney Philharmonic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so a big proper orchestra. And that's why it sounds so nice now.
Yeah.
I think it does look a bit better. You can switch between the two, the original and the remastered graphics. Kind of like with the re-release of Monkey Island I played on the Xbox. And there are certain achievements for you doing things in the original style, like using the original tank controls.
Oh, God, no. No.
Yeah.
Just no.
So, Alex, you've been playing the new version. The original version had absolutely terrible, really, really janky controls. All been rejigged.
Really? Even worse than now? I can't say I was fond of controls.
Well,
when I was playing
it's all been rejigged for your gaming pleasure, but if you try and play it in the original...
For my gaming torture.
So, there are certain achievements that hark back to the original, like with the remastered Monkey Island, because all of these kind of LucasArts games take a bit of fun about themselves. They never take themselves seriously, and with the re-releases, they do that even more. Yeah. So there's achievements linked to you looking at it from the original, playing it in the original style, playing it in the original way, or just doing whatever the hell you want, to be honest. So, how are you feeling about it in general, Monica? Are you favourable towards it, or have all these things dampened your love of the game?
It's really hard to tell, and being in games doesn't help because I will look at frame rate and I will look at all these things and go, oh, someone didn't do their optimization, and I just think, oh, maybe it was just a bad port to the Vita, because Vita ports tend to be secondary kind of afterthoughts in game demos I've noticed.
Yeah, I'm hoping to play it on the PS4 this week just to have a comparison.
Yeah, it's nice because it's cross-buy and cross-save, so you can have it on both. And I think the game itself is charming. The dialogue is fantastic. They've kept all of the original backgrounds, which actually have stood the test of time quite well, I think.
I read that they redeveloped the backgrounds to give more shading, more intuitive lighting.
Oh, really? They look exactly the same when I swap from one to the other.
Yeah, I thought that, but when I was researching it, apparently they've upscaled everything. It's all in high res now, and they've added more depth, more shading, and intuitive lighting effects, which, to be honest, I'm not really sure what that means, because I don't know how to make games or what that means. I just think it looks a bit prettier.
Yeah, the character models look a lot nicer. Their shading on them is really nice, and if you swap back to the original, sometimes you see some awful colour banding where when Manny's got his white jacket, you just have these huge stripes of colours across it, and they have fixed that. Those look really nice. It's just really disappointing to then have the jankiness and have those aspects. It's just kind of takes you out of the experience a bit, and you feel like, oh, well, maybe they could have done more. And that's in part because in Monkey Island they just redid everything, and swapping between the two was, and also
very, very clear and very different.
Yeah, and I've also been spoiled by the Halo Master Chief Collection with Halo 2 remastered, which was just stunning. It looked they redid the cutscenes, they redid everything, and it's visually it's absolutely fantastic. So I was expecting, when I went in, I thought it'd be like that.
The difficulty with comparing it with something like Halo is because Halo is such a massive franchise.
Yeah.
And Grim Fandango's more of a cult favourite.
Yeah, no, of course. But
Halo's going to have
me.
more money for it. And, yeah, Halo's going to get more money, more time, more focus because there's a lot more fanboys. Still doesn't work though. Okay, Alex, what's your opinion on this? Are you going to keep playing? Are you going to go into it fully? Or are you just going to go, maybe I'll play it now and again?
To be honest, I think the answer is no. Like, if I have someone and someone is gonna sit there and play the game and will know how to play the game, I'll sit there just to see the storyline and to listen for conversations. Because we had a lot of laughs when we were playing it. It was really funny and I really liked the dialogue. But when game makes me suffer, this is not something that I like to be doing. I guess I'm a bit lazy that way, but
yeah, so we shouldn't give you a Sierra game then.
Maybe.
That would be fun to do once.
We should so do a live stream of Alex playing King's
That'd be
Quest.
just a lot of swearing. And most of the swearing will be in Russian because then my tolerance will just lose it.
Well, I've got a Retron. We could do it. It can stream in high def.
Oh, tempting. I wanna watch this. It would
I am so true.
just be several hours of Alice going, what is the thing? What do I do? What do you want of me?
But we'd learn some Russian swear words, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
You'll learn a lot of Russian swear words.
I don't think I've actually heard you swear in Russian yet.
No, they're reserved for very special circumstances, and I think those kind of games will be that circumstance.
Okay, right. So we just spoke about one of the recent remastered and re-released games. We've also got another quite culty classic being re-released onto PC, iOS and Android. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Heroes of Might and Magic 3, isn't it?
Yes, it's free, and it's specifically free because free is the best one.
Yes.
And anyone who knows anything about the franchise will agree with me.
I have no clue, so I'm trusting you.
I haven't played them either.
No, it's a great game. It's 15 years old. I think it's one of the first games that I ever played, and it just charred me straight away. Yeah, it's what is it? It's a turn-based strategy game.
Yeah.
Set in a sort of fantasy universe, and you have different factions. And you get sort of a tactical view where you have your base, which is usually a castle that you get to develop and buy different soldiers, aka monsters. And then you go around and you fight people in other castles and you get resources and everything like this.
Okay.
And I mean, the Heroes of Might and Magic 3 was amazing, for the reason that I think some of the castles were absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
I really liked the castle, there's the typical elvish unicorns dragon castle, which
What's
was amazing.
it with you and elves?
Don't get me started.
I will soon.
But then there was also a Neuromancer castle, Necropolis, which all the dead stuff, so your vampires, etc.
Hang on, Neuromancer?
I think you mean Necromancer.
Necromancer.
Neuromancer is that wonderful book that sparked all the cyberpunk.
Oh well, there you go.
Okay, all right. Cool.
Yeah, and his music in there is just gorgeous. And I think overall it's the best gameplay, the best storyline ever. And I've spent about 30 quid buying it for my PC, which can just about run it, although it gets me very confused and it's like, you're not Windows 94. I'm not sure I can run this game.
I think I still have a Windows 95 PC at my parents'.
Wow.
Well, then you can play. Anyway, but now you don't need to worry about that because it's been released on iPad and it looks just as gorgeous. Not all of it though. So far, I think there's just only one campaign mode.
There's no expansions coming out.
No.
I did a little bit of research because I have no idea. I'm not one for turn-based strategy games, to be honest. They don't sit well with me. I can't even play like The Sims or anything like that. But
that's not strategy.
Isn't it? Don't you have to work out how to live your life? Because I struggle with that in real life, to be honest.
You just set fire to everything.
That's what I do in real life. That's my job. I don't need Sims to do that. Like, I've seen Rome and Total War. Are they real-time? Are they turn-based strategy?
No. Well...
What's a turn-based strategy that might know?
Civilization.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. I've seen them being played and it's just never gotten on with them. But I had a look at this one and It looks interesting. I like the kind of fantasy genre.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just appealed me as all things as a teenage girl when I basically played. It was fantasy. It had pretty monsters. It had, actually, I think, the best campaign story out of all those games.
Yeah.
And I remember just replaying them because they were before this all, you had cutscenes, animated cutscenes. They would just have your text. And I just remember replaying them because I missed the story and I wanted to reread the story, basically. So I'd go on back and spend ridiculous amount of hours replaying all the campaigns.
Aww.
Well, that makes sense for you because you love books, don't you? You love reading and everything.
Yes,
you love
so
books,
kind of,
you nerd.
you love books.
Hello, I'm a nerd.
We're all nerds here.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I like books too.
Yeah, so have you played This Is Tall, Monica?
No, I haven't. Here's a Might and Magic, one that completely passed me by, which is weird because I love Civ. I really like the Civilization games, and I actually I love strategy games. I love sitting with my partner and we play through a lot of them.
Yeah, I've just bought it at $7.99 for iOS.
Cool.
Oh.
And it's on Android and PC as well.
Mm-hmm.
Might have to have a go.
Well, continuing with the fantasy vibe and the elves, of course, Alex has a little obsession at the minute. I think it's just kind of subsiding, and you're a bit sad.
It's really not. I'm really upset because for the last month, I had one goal in life, and that goal was to shag an elf.
Okay, context.
Should I say shag or should I say I mean, I can't really pretend to be that English, no? Oh well.
Bonk.
You can say it, I'll just bleep
You can
it
say
out.
bonk.
Okay, I tried to bonk an elf.
Copulate, fornicate.
Oh, and that's a male elf as well, because
Oh.
I think I could get along with a female elf. Anyway, what we're talking about, this is not a new game.
This is Dragon Age Inquisition. For context for anyone, she's not just gone out and tried to find someone that looks like an elf and have sex with them. No, she's actually
I
playing
think my
a
boyfriend
video
would disagree
game.
with that more.
You can buy him little elf ears on Etsy.
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
this has
but
gone
then my
dark.
boyfriend is not bald, so I'd also have to shave his head. I think he might have objections to it.
Well, if you get sex, I don't think he'll mind that much.
Well, it is Valentine's Day soon.
Honey, for Valentine's Day, I'm gonna get you ears and shave your head. How about that? You'll love it.
Best gift a girl can get. Alright, this is getting weird. Yeah, so tell us about Dragon Age Inquisition.
Okay, well, as I mentioned before, I haven't really played any Dragon Age games, and it was sort of brought into home saying, well, boyfriend saying, okay, well, I'm gonna play it for a little bit, and then you're gonna continue. And I started playing it, and he, as a starting race, he chose Quinari, and I really didn't like his Quinari, so I lost interest in the game pretty soon. And then I got bored, and I started playing it myself, and as I started playing it, people were just about finishing it.
Yeah.
And they got me into panic, because they were saying, oh, we've played it for 90 hours. Oh, we played it for 100-something hours. Oh, I've completed the whole game into 170 hours.
Whoa.
I panicked. And I went, okay, I gotta find what happens. I'm gonna play it. And because I had no idea how this games work, I didn't realize, that you had to go around and talk to your party members. And
Oh yeah, you have to do that in all of their games. It
Yeah.
can be tedious or it can be quite fun, depending on how you're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't realize. So, I didn't know anything about. I knew the romance was a thing in there, but when I finally decided, okay, I like this elf character enough, Solus, and I'm gonna romance him, it turned out that I was so late in the game that really didn't work out.
Aww.
So then I got really upset because at that time I was invested in this game. I was playing it for 40 hours, and I was like, this elf, why can't I just have sex with you?
Yeah, I think it was at tabletop the other week, and you were just kind of ranting about this elf that wouldn't put his pork sword in you. It's just like, do me, elf, do me!
Oh well, for non-spoilers, but, the people who played the game know how it ends, and the people who are among solos know how that ends. Anyway, so before 40 hours in, I have one last story mission to complete. Elf does not want to have anything to do with me other than chat about spirits and ruins and all that crap that I was not really interested in at that point. So I decided, okay, whatever, I'm gonna restart the game.
Whoa.
Oh god. You are determined to shag this elf.
Yeah, so I restarted the game. I spent another 40 hours playing it again to a
Wow.
conclusion. Me and an elf hooked up. She broke
You
my
didn't bloody
heart.
tell me this.
This is the best story ever. It's like, if I can't have him, I will turn back time.
You told me you were determined to do it, and you seemed quite obsessed. You didn't tell me that you restarted again just so you could shag this elf.
I did.
That's awesome. That would be like restarting Mass Effect. Why would you do
No. It's literally basically restarting Mass Effect. I mean, I did the little changes. First time I played, I was Rogue Archer, and then I decided to go with Mage. So I kind of made it like a little bit of a different with me. And straight away I knew that there's some stuff that I'm just not going to be bothered about. Like, you can go around the game collecting little shards, which... And in some place, they give you a cave with lots of loot and increase of stats. But there's like 20 shards on this map. And they're in the most annoying places ever that you have to climb to or find an easy route to. And my second playthrough, I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to bother with those shards anymore. Because to collect all of them, it's going to be another 10 hours. So I'm going to forget about those shards and do everything else. But yeah, no... I know people have some issues with Dragon Age Inquisition, but I'm clearly obsessed, and it's not just because I really wanted to shag an elf.
Problem is, Monica, she's just finished Dragon Age. What are you playing now?
I started Mass Effect.
Oh, no! Oh, sweet mother of God.
In maybe a couple of weeks, we'll have a new sexual obsession from Auntie Alex. As we were talking earlier, I think, Monica, you mentioned a love of Halo, didn't you?
Yes, very much so.
Have you heard of the new studio, Industrial Toys, from the co-creator of Halo, Alex Serapian?
I hadn't actually, no.
Alex, you've been looking into one of their new games, haven't you?
Yeah, I've kind of found out it from sort of a weird roundabout way, but the game is a mobile shooter called Midnight Star.
Ooh.
And it came out last week, so we are recording on the 7th of February, so just count a week from there. And the ideas of that game is that you basically, it's a mobile game, it's free to play. I mean, there will be some in-game transactions going on there and blah, blah, blah.
As always, yeah.
Yeah, but the idea is that you can basically do everything just with one finger. So you can do shoot with one finger, chain weapons, so you don't just with one, not with one finger, sorry, with one hand. So you don't really
like
get your
Bayonetta.
Pretty much. Yeah, and it's also like, they really want it to be your sort of, you play for 5 minutes, then you could put it down, and, your kind of tube kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sounds good, yeah. I think I know a fella that might be interested in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wasn't initially interested in the shooters. I love my shooters, but I'm not that keen on mobile shooters. I might try it out. But why I was interested is because the guy who did story building, the world building for it, and sort of supervised all the writing on the game is John Scalzi.
And who is he?
He's a sci-fi author, and I love his work. He might be most known for Old Man's War and Red Shirts. They won quite a few awards. But what I really like about him is that he's your gateway writer into sci-fi.
Yeah.
Especially because sci-fi can be a little bit intimidating and very complicated. His books are... they're just so easy to read. You just go in and you have your all elements of sci-fi, but he has a lot of humor in it. They're not sort of story-heavy. They're very lighthearted, it's very funny. You read them in about 2-3 days, and that's it. I'm not saying they're masterpieces of work. I think they're pretty good and pretty funny, but as a sci-fi go. But if planets and aliens and starships sounds like your kind of thing, but the word sci-fi scares you, I suggest go find him and look at his work. So he was invited to do some world building on this game. And he's done so much that actually before this game even released, they released an interactive comic called Midnight Rises.
Yeah.
That is written by him, illustrated by Mike Choi, and it's actually pretty good. And the idea of the Midnight Rises, and I need to read more about the comic and try the game, but the idea is that the decisions that you make in the comic carry on into your shooter game.
Also, it's an interactive graphic novel.
Yeah, it is interactive, yeah.
That's a nice little touch, actually.
That's cool.
So far, it's like, the decision I have to make is like, where do I want to go first? Do Do I want to, run there or save that person? Do I want to ask that girl on a date or just leave? That kind of stuff.
Does she remember if you ask her to leave?
Yeah, she's probably not taking afterwards. She kind of blew me off when I asked her out as well, so...
Sort of. When I was looking up this game, the thing that interested me most about it was the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is by Surge from System of a Down, and I love System of a Down. So that's the main reason I might download this game, especially since it's free, otherwise I wouldn't really touch it. I'm not much of a tablet shooter kind of game, but I might give this a go. Would you suggest, doing the graphic novel first, or is it a prerequisite? Do you have to do the graphic novel first?
It's not a prerequisite. You don't have to do it. I think the graphic novel is actually quite nice. The first chapter is for free, and I think there's 79p afterwards. The first chapter is quite small, but I think it's really nice how you flip through it, how you have sort of, little descriptions of people and their bios in there, and it makes it very easy for you to read because you just tap it and the appropriate conversation bubbles pull up exactly at the time that you need to read them, so it's not like you have to know how the comics work and the right way to read them. So, it's very easy, nice, and, the story is fun, and it's just like every John Scalzi work. It's full of humor and a little bit of all over the top, but nice sci-fi.
I have to have a go at that.
I'd say download the first chapter and go for it. If it's something that you like, then 79p is not a huge amount of money to spend.
It's not too bad.
Man, a sci-fi... The idea of a sci-fi book where I can't understand half of the lines just doesn't... I don't know. Doesn't appeal. Maybe I've just read too much Asimov. It's like, what? I can understand what he's saying? No. Surely not.
Another game which has got a link to mobiles and tablets is XCOM the board game. Alex has been looking into that, and I did a little bit of research. It's a XCOM board game based on the actual game XCOM, but it includes a digital companion which you use on a tablet or a mobile device. Can you tell us a little bit more about it, Alex?
Well, first of all, have you guys played XCOM, that video game?
Yeah.
I've watched it being played. I've never actually played it myself.
I've played a small amount, and then... Well, loads of my friends were playing at the time, so I know about it.
Well, we have preview or BRB, so you can go and read that, and I did write my little bit, and Tim did most of the writing because he played the video game and the board game. But this was a very anticipated board game, especially for everyone who's been fans of XCOM the video game for ages. I was kind of like, oh, okay, you guys are excited. I'll be excited with you just because, it's a new board game and it does something interesting. And the interesting thing it does, it has a companion app, and the game cannot be played without the companion app.
Oh, you have to have the companion app.
You have to have a companion app.
Oh.
Yeah. It's basically, put it in crude terms, and it's not that exactly, but it's your dungeon master.
Yeah.
It tells you what's happening in the game. And you have to input back your information, so what of the changes that occurred while you played it, and it responds, and it changes its response according to the situation on the board. So it kind of it's good in the same way because, for example, if you lost a continent, or if you're overrun by aliens, the app will know this, and it will give you less time to do everything. Because when you make goes, they are all timed, so it's all very panic-stricken, cool. And you have to think about it very fast.
Oh wow, that's a really nice way to get rid of analysis paralysis.
You said there's a launch. Is there a launch event?
Yeah, there was a launch event 2 weeks ago by Stavim, and it was at our friendly bar Loading
in London town.
In London town, yes. So yeah, we went to that, we played a bit, we played a game of it, so another thing about the game that I probably should mention is that it's maximum 4 player, but I think it could be okay with 2 and 3, and you get different roles. So, I, for example, was sort of in charge of military forces on Earth on the board, and when the aliens would attack our base, I'd have to go there and protect it. And there were little minifigures of soldiers, which I kept getting confused and hence sending wrong people to wrong missions and kind of, fucking up. I'm like, when the timer is ticking and someone shouting in your ear, you have 5 seconds next. You just grab something. You just grab it and put it.
So,
you don't really...
So how does it work? So do you each have a bunch of units you control? Do some people only control units, or...
Yeah, so you have a person who does scientist and research. So they basically provide you with your different other abilities. You have a person who is on the app and also deploys satellites that attack aliens around the Earth. You have a person in charge of your money, how much money you have to spend, and in charge of your planes. They have a fancy name that I forgot about. Interceptors. No, interceptors. There you go. In charge of your interceptors that attack sort of people on your continents, and then you have forces on the ground that protect your base and go on the missions.
Well, it's a lot of coordination by the sound of it.
Yes, when I looked at the board at first, I was like, oh. I mean, how am I supposed to understand what's going on? There's so many things going on. But then, because you're assigned, and there's only so many things that you can do, and the app tells you exactly when to do them, it's kind of okay. You sort of must start understanding how that works, despite a lot of things going on.
So practice makes perfect with this. So if you play it a couple of times, it'll be a bit easier as you go?
Yeah, I mean, we won. At the end of the game, you also sort of input, you can calculate sort of your ending score. And we got, I think, just about 50, which is pretty bad.
How does a game end?
The game ends if you complete the final mission.
Okay. That's not so bad then.
Yeah.
So it's not
okay.
like just like an end goal. Like some games, there's just a series of missions you have to go through, and then whoever gets the most points from each of the mission wins.
No, you all win. It's a cooperative board game, so you all win, as long as you survive.
Oh, okay. So it's just you against the board, essentially.
You against the aliens, so yeah. So.
Okay,
That's
alright,
cool.
fair enough.
It's a bit like that stuff. I can't remember the name of it. There's a computer game where you all play space captains and you have to kind of work together to defeat all the things happening to your ship. I can't...
Oh! I think I know the one you're on about. Is it FLV? Well,
I can't remember.
FLV, I think, is the one where it's like you have a cross-section of your ship and there's people attacking you, and like there's a captain, medics, things like that, and you're all in charge of your section.
I think
you have to make sure it's working.
Work together.
Yeah, I think that's FLV.
Oh, it could be, yeah. I like the idea that you have to cooperate and
yeah, it makes it a bit more
everybody
interesting.
does their bit.
But, moving on, still within the parameters. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Parameters of the board game world.
Board game world. Loading. Games. Pokemon. Segway. That worked.
Pokemons.
As some of you might know and might actually attend, BigRedBarel hosts an event every Tuesday at Loading Bar in Dalston in London called Tabletop Tuesday. Whoop whoop. And this week...
Okay, sorry, whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Delayed.
I
have no idea why you're making that noise.
That with my mouth.
It was a weird noise. I didn't want to leave Lauren alone.
Okay, whoop whoop aside, we played Pokemon this week because there was the release of a new expansion of the Pokemon card game. Over the last few months, we've had a few different expansions. We've had Phantom Forces back in November. This week, we had the release of Primal Reversion. Primal Reversion is a new game featuring the reversion evolutions that were introduced in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I'm sorry. And we have two new themes called Ocean Core and Earth Pulse, both featuring combinations of fire and water and electric and ground Pokemon. We have 160 new cards to play with an assortment of EX cards and Mega EX cards, so Mega Evolution cards, and they all have new features and so on.
Yeah. I think the particular one we had was Pokemon the card game XY Primal Clash. That was the main one for that event.
No, Primal Clash was in November, and... Oh, no. Sorry, no. I confused myself then. Primal Clash was the one that was downstairs and loading. We played Phantom Forces upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
So Phantom Forces has two sets called Burning Winds, which is Fire and Leaf, which is the set I think you had. And I had Bolt Twister, which is electric and water type Pokemons. They both have similar setups. They both have EX cards, Mega EX cards. They're just different type of Pokemons. And Primal Reversion contains the reversion evolution of the two god Pokemons.
But wait. Is there a shiny Charizard? Because if there's no shiny Charizard, then I don't know.
In Phantom Forces, there was a shiny Mega EX Gengar, which you could get. And he was pretty sweet. This time...
Still not Charizard.
But it's not a shiny Charizard. You don't understand.
I agree with Monica on this.
My 12-year-old self is just like, no, there's no shiny Charizard. Why?
Right.
Why
I
love
shiny Charizard as much as anyone, but there needs to be new shinies. They can't all have shiny Charizard in every single pack, because otherwise it won't be as special to us, will it? But there is a Charizard Mega EX, which is very shiny and so OP. He's amazing. If you have Mega EX Charizard, you have to evolve Charizard normally. You get to level 2, which is Charmander, put Charmeleon, then Charizard. And then if you get the Mega EX Charizard, put that on top. He is, I think it's about 180 or 240 HP. His moves do about between 120 and 160 damage. He has special powers, which means he takes less damage.
Basically, if you face him, you're fried.
Yeah, but if you beat him, you get 2 prize cards instead of 1.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. There was one miraculous event this week during the Pokemon event. Alex beat me.
Yes, that never happens. She always beats me in every single board game.
No, that's not true. We beat everyone else usually.
Yeah, maybe. Well, anyway, I know that not to mess up with you in the board game front, because you just, I don't know, incredibly lucky, or incredibly skillful, or a bit of both.
Well, when I was downstairs playing Primal Clash, I was down there with Simon from BRB, and we were playing together. His review is currently up on BRB UK about all the games. So we were playing it, and he kept getting a little bit annoyed that I was beating him a few times. To the point that he actually accidentally spilled a pint on one of the boards.
Oh!
Yes.
That's cold.
Yeah, and what place is Steven from, Alex?
GGS Gamer, I think?
Yeah, I was playing against him and he just kept laughing because I kept beating him again. And there was people next to us filming and laughing at us because I kept, throwing him shade and just being a bit of a dick when we were playing. Just going, you can't beat me, son! And they were filming some segment, and apparently there was some dude who's meant to be a Pokemaster there.
Ooh.
It's like, I have no idea who you are. Feel kind of bad. But we got free pizza, so that's okay.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I've not...
Lots of goodies as well.
Oh, those the Pokemon cake pops were amazing.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Ah.
Okay, I get it. Nice goodies. How is the game?
Game is the same as always, to be honest.
That is the correct answer.
It's not that much different. There's new cards, there's slight new powers. Some of the cards have special abilities. Those abilities introduced in Phantom Forces this time. These are meant to be ancient traits. Same kind of thing. It just means when you put the card down, they might have an immediate effect. So you might put a card down and go, your opponent has to switch Pokemon to one of his bench Pokemon straight away. But it's nothing really. It's just a couple of extra perks. The trainer cards are slightly different. There's some new ones, but it's 6 of 1. There's just more Pokemon, more cards, more game.
It's nice that they're bringing in new mechanics by the sound of it. We had a small resurgence of Pokemon love at the office not last year, the year before that. So I have a couple of decks actually sitting on my desk.
Yeah.
But this was just as Pokemon X and Y had come out.
Yeah.
And the Pokemon X and Y cards...
I got into the whole Pokemon frenzy about that time as well. I actually bought my 2DS because I really wanted to play Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I couldn't afford a 3DS, so...
Oh.
Well, a lot of the new mechanics and traits and all the Mega Evolutions and the Pokemon EX cards, they all came in with the resurgence of Pokemon thanks to X and Y. And it's just been built on over the last 2 years. So really, you both came in about the same time that everyone else started being...
Oh, we're never claimed to be original.
I played it in school.
I played it back in the day.
I had it back in the day.
Well, I had cards back in the day, but the rules that I played were completely made up. Yeah. And I can't remember. There's one Pokemon that I considered to be particularly pretty, and that Pokemon, according to me, bet everyone's Pokemon's ass. So I always won unless because I had them.
Oh, I used to go with some friends. They had the Warner Brothers store in Kingston. And I used to go there with my friend and her brother who actually played properly, and they would have tables for the ones that just weren't very good at playing. But you still had to stick to the rules, and we had counters and we had everything. So I have played it. This was the original old school decks.
Yeah, I played it in the schoolyard when I was 11, so 16 years ago now? Bloody hell. But we were looking at the original boards on eBay, and just a normal board, like you get in the pack, is about 70 quid from the original series.
The
Yeah.
boards, what do you mean?
Well, you get like play mats.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant,
Yeah.
not boards. Yeah, so the original play mat is about 70 quid.
Oh, wow. I still have in my cupboard the original pack, the starter deck set. No boosters or anything, just the original kind of decks that you'd get.
Yeah, well, all the decks have the same back, so they can all be used in a competition legal deck. The only ones you can't use are the ones with different backs. So, my experience of those have only been the, like, special edition ones from,
it's the champion sets.
That's
or
it, I
whatever,
couldn't
the
think of the
champion
word.
decks.
Yeah, so the people who won the championship last year, their decks are released with a different back and their signatures on it, so you can't use them in an actual championship game. But everything else has exactly the same back, so you can use the cards you got when you were in school 16 years ago to the ones you got this week, all in a legal match.
But why would you? Because they're actually fairly awful comparatively to the new ones.
Just a bit, yeah, unless it's a shiny Charizard.
Unless it's but then you probably get someone punch you and steal it.
Yeah, we looked at a Pikachu card the other day, and that's quite pricey nowadays.
Really? Pikachu? The most boring Pokemon, guys.
No, but original Pikachu, when the TV show was out, when everything was starting off, is quite rare and quite desirable, apparently.
Oh, he's see now.
Yes, he is. And speaking of desirable, I got a new toy this week.
We sure we want to talk about this toy? No?
I got an Xbox One.
Did you?
Yep.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay, now you've managed to talk me on the podcast.
Yes, I got a little email from play.com last week, or Raikuken, or whatever they're called now. And they were having this stupid sale, and they were selling Xbox Ones for 275 quid, and they could get 15% off as well. So I got an Xbox One for 250 quid last weekend.
Oof, nice.
It came on Tuesday.
Oh, damn, is that sale still on?
No, it was like 3 days only. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, the fella and I were going to IKEA to get some shopping, and then we saw the sale. I was like, right, so we need a new TV unit to host all of the consoles.
And a new TV by the sound of it.
Oh no, we got my 40-inch Samsung, and we've got his 32-inch Samsung as well, but that's attached to his computer, which I'm recording off now. But we're getting a massive shelving used in it because Christmas we got the Retron, we got Wii U, we've got the Xbone now, PS4, PS3. Yeah, we got plenty now.
Okay, so what is the first thing you're gonna play on your brand new shiny console?
Well, actually, our first achievements on this console were for 4OD.
I was going to say, was it Netflix?
No, I don't think we've got an achievement for Netflix. We might have now, because I did watch a bit last night, but our first achievements were for watching Black Mirror on 4OD.
Nice.
But we've got a few on there. We need to just set everything up because we're just waiting on a HDMI splitter.
Oh. Should get Master Chief Collection.
Well, and spend 2 days downloading it.
Yeah, but Master Chief.
Yeah.
It's got all of the maps and all of the things.
And all of the
Yeah,
Chiefs.
Lauren, get it, because we're not really playing it.
And, like-
We'll spend lots of money.
No,
Well, purchasing it. Well, I'll play it with
I'll
you.
play Halo 3 and Halo 4 with you quite happily.
Oh, that's specific.
Yeah, because we've already completed 1 and 2, and they're only 2-player.
Yeah.
And 3 and 4 are 4-player.
Yeah. I was going to say, Evolve, what console would it be better on?
I'm getting it PS4 because
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah. I'm getting a PS4. I mean, if you played beta, I think it'd be better for Xbox One because your progress from the beta would transfer. But I think after that point, it doesn't really matter. So you'll just have to start and unlock all your hunters and all your monsters again and all your perks. But other than
Well, I
that...
didn't play on the Xbox One before. I only played it on the closed testing with you guys. So, and like I've told you before, I pre-ordered it last May on PS4. So it's coming on Tuesday.
Yeah, and I think because you pre-ordered it, you're still gonna get some unlocks just because.
Oh yeah, get like
You
an extra
pre-ordered it.
monster and something else, I think.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest pre-order bonus, but hey, it'll do. I just wanted to
come on. Majora's Mask gives you a paperweight, so, you know. I'm just going to throw it out there. Nothing can beat that.
Was it a pre-order or a special edition of one of these Zeldas that gave you a scarf? I think it was.
Scarf, I
Wasn't
have
that
it.
Hyrule?
Don't- Yes, Hyrule Warriors. I have that scarf.
Is it a nice scarf at least?
It's okay. I've never actually worn it because it's only got the tassels down one end.
Oh.
Which is really bizarre.
Huh?
You'd expect it to have tassels down two ends, but down one end it's got some lovely tassels and stitchings, and down the other end it's just like, nope, no more scarf. Done. You've had enough scarf.
Okay, right. Also, I've got more amiibos.
Yay!
Well, technically, it's not you who got more.
No, he
amiibos.
bought them
It's
for me.
someone upset. Oh, you bought. Oh, okay. This obsession is taken on a completely new, scary level.
Right, yeah. He's stuck 3 up on the wall now. Which is
the way you're meant to play with them, obviously.
no, they're
Yeah.
the rare ones. It's Wii Fit Trainer Marth or Ike. Can't remember.
Marth.
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 I'm sorry.
Villager.
Wii Fit Trainer is a rare one, and you put that on the wall. Wii Fit Trainer.
Yes.
She's really good in game if you know how to play her properly.
But in front
But she's not. I have no.
in
Word.
front of me right now is normal Link, Bowser, because Bowser's mine, Peach, Mario's also mine, and Yoshi.
Oh, you didn't get Toon Link?
Not yet. We're working on it because I was told I could get 2 more amiibos. I could get 2 more amiibos, or I could get a Pro Controller from my Wii U, so I went for a Pro Controller.
Yeah, Pro Controllers are really good.
Yeah, so I can play Hyrule Warriors a bit easier than with the sodding tablet.
It's really nice for Smash Brothers as well.
But we've discussed this before, I suck at Smash Brothers.
It doesn't matter. You can practice. Smash.
You just.
You just smash. Yes, we do 8-player games in the office,
Yeah.
and I know occasionally do not so terribly.
Yeah.
Do okay. Because some of the guys there practice quite a lot and are very, very good. One of my friends is just redonkulous with Iggy.
Oh, yeah.
Iggy or which other ones? Or Villager.
Yeah.
Just like
Another
God.
ridiculous amiibo. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Villager's fantastic.
We've got Villager. He's in a box above the door.
Yeah, we've got two Villagers because we somehow managed to buy a second one. I know someone we knew was selling theirs. We're like, cool, we'll have it.
Oh, you should paint him up and put an axe on him.
Tempted. One's got to be made into a girl.
Oh, yeah, that's true. No, but if I play Smash, all I'll be doing is singing Star Bomb constantly.
Yes.
Have you
I was
listened?
just
Have you
thinking about
listened to
that.
Star Bomb yet, Alex?
Yes, I finally listened to it. And I watched the video for this.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant.
Love it. So good.
I've spent the last few commutes listening non-stop, and I've realised I know all of the lyrics, and I've understood all of the lyrics, because on some songs it's just like, what is it saying?
Oh,
What is-
like Ryu versus Ken on the first album.
Yeah, or God of No More. It took me really long to work out that it was Mighty Twerkylees, the god of jiggling butts. I was like, and then Poseidon-sea, the god of sushi sauce.
I think there's a brand of soy. Oh, Posoy. Yeah.
Poseidon.
I just got that.
I love the lyrics to all those. And there's a video for the Poker Rap, where a fan video where this guy has drawn every single one of the ridiculous Pokemons in the song.
Well, to be honest, I was a little bit bored at Christmas, and I considered making some of the Pokemon and making poker cards for them. Like Door, Dad Vest.
Door.
Oh, no, Dad Sweater.
Papa Sweater.
Dad Sweater, and like the evolution. So I was going to do a little baby sweater,
Oh.
like a bigger sweater, and then a dad sweater. I was a little bit sad. But Door just really intrigued me. It's like
Door.
just a plushie of a door with googly eyes.
Yeah, the fan one is just a door on its side with eyes on either side and little feet and arms underneath.
Oh, I might have to watch that one.
Yeah, I love them. The Smash song is fantastic,
Oh yeah.
especially if you like Smash Brothers.
I think my favourite song on the first album is Sonic's Best Pal.
Oh, that one's a bit too sweary for me.
Oh, I just love Tails on it. I just love the rap. I love the swears. And I think Smash on the second album is my favourite.
I think for me on the first one, it's got to be the Book of Nook. I've started a little illustration of it. It's just my owl assassin with a little bow tie. You don't matter to Blathers, he'll make your ass die. It's like, yes.
Oh my god.
All of the yes. I want to do a little trio of Blathers, KK, and then Brewster in the back just holding some sharp object looking terrifying.
Oh, awesome. I've also taken to listening to the simple plot of Metal Gear. Just listening through and just identifying the actual voices. It's like, oh, that's Barry from Game Grumps, that's Ross from Game Grumps.
I love that song. The ending. Hi, I'm Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah!
I think the first time I heard that, I almost pissed myself laughing.
It's great to listen to on commutes, but then you have the danger of, like I have
laughing
before.
out loud.
No, singing along. I almost sang along to Sonic's Best Pal.
Ooh.
You know, the F your ring, Sonic is about to get real. I was in quite a joyful mood and just kind of rocking out with my head. And when I'm at home, I just start rapping along. And I almost did that on the tube. And luckily, I just kind of twigged, went, nope, don't sing that. You will get hit.
By someone. Yeah, I just laugh out loud on the tube whilst listening to them.
I love it so much. Oh, and finally, any other news?
Monica, do you have something?
I can't remember. Is there a thing? I was just humming along in my head to the various songs and thinking about.
God distracted you by songs singing.
Oh, it has. I love them. I think Smash and God of No More have to be my two
I
favorites.
do love God of No More.
Oh,
okay.
The Pig Latin.
I keep trying to work out what it says because I'm never quite sure.
Something like Usne, because he's speaking Pig Latin.
Yeah.
So Usne the X-Lay something of, I don't know.
We'll figure out for next time. Right,
yes.
So thank you very much. Oh.
Listen to Starbomb, that's
Listen
the
to
message.
Starbomb.
Listen to Starbomb.
They are very, very good. Also, Ninja Sex Party or Game Grumps. They're also very good. We are not sponsored by any of them. We just like them.
We just really like them, and we're quite sad. And we sit and we learn the lyrics and sing them along. We had a session.
Yeah, go on. Go on.
I was just going to say we had over Christmas, I think it was. Me and the boyfriend had a session of playing Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and every 3 or 4 minutes or so, one of us would just pause and go, "It's dangerous to go alone, take this."
I've got a little bottle opener with that on. I just love it so much. Right, so thank you very much for listening to Big Red Barrel Geek Speak. If you want to get in contact with us, please use the Big Red Barrel forums or tweet #GeekSpeak at Big Red Barrel on Twitter. If you have any suggestions, any games you'd like us to have a little go at, or not just games, anything you can think of within the
beauty of our podcast, we talk about anything.
Anything, yes.
Geeky.
Anything geeky. I know this week has been a lot of gaming, but in general, we like stuff and things. And
don't worry, I'll manage to squeeze some sci-fi into here and there.
Yay!
But, as I said, thank you very much for listening. I have been Lauren.
I've been Alex.
It's been Monica.
And we say goodbye. Bye!
You and your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarel.com.
And remember, go to www.audible.co.uk/redbarrel to sign up for your 30 days free trial and get your free audiobook. Get your free audiobook. Get your free audiobook. Get your free audiobook. Get your free audiobook.